Tough luck, Nick. How do you assess your performance tonight, and how do you feel physically now?
Yeah, it was obviously wasn't amazing. I just want to start with the atmosphere. Is incredible to be back. It was definitely not my best performance, but look, full credit to my opponent. He played really well tonight. I was really impressed with his level. Hits the ball really flat, really aggressive, but I knew tonight was going to be tough. With my physical state going into the match, I knew that I was going to be really hindered with my serve. But just seeing the fans line up for 4 or 5 hours and just the amount of people that were there supporting me, it was hard to kind of throw the towel in. It would have been really easy to kind of just roll over, but I tried to do the best I could with the state I was in physically. But obviously heartbreaking because obviously wanted to play well, and I feel like my level's there, but obviously the timing of the abdominal strain's not ideal, but it is what it is.
Questions?
Nick, that moment in the third set where you did the underhand and then the behind the back and did this one, you seemed to really take in that crowd. What did that feel like for you, particularly given I'm sure there was moments in your recovery where you thought you would be able to play again?
Yeah, I mean, realistically, I can't really see myself probably playing singles again here. So, yeah, it was special. Like taking that in, it was pretty good. It was good, yeah. So yeah, I mean, look, I knew that I have doubles, so I didn't want to I kind of was taking everything in tonight. In those moments, it was nuts. But yeah, that's what I mean. I didn't want to just throw in the towel and walk off or retire or I was hurting physically, but I respect my opponent, the fans that waited hours to come see me play. Yeah, I mean, realistically, I probably can't see myself playing a singles match here again.
I guess first, just to confirm, you're good for the doubles, though.
Yeah. Me and Thanasi kind of think we owe it to each other to go out there and play. Obviously, I know that he's a physical wreck most of the time, but he somehow pushes through, and props to him for getting through his match today. Yeah, but I guess we will play doubles. I'll play doubles. So yeah.
What you did tonight you felt like level was there. That doesn't encourage you to play. That you could play singles well here moving forward at some point.
I mean, I don't know. Realistically, a year from now, I was knocking on the door of playing some of the biggest events. I mean, winning some of the biggest events, and to see how hard I worked in the last year, and just to see, I know sorry, I don't know your name, but as you said, I didn't think I was going to be back here anyway playing. I didn't get a wild card. I was playing. I'm here because I feel like I deserve to be here, but it's hard when you're competing for the biggest tournaments in the world, and you're struggling to win sets physically. It's pretty tough. But I've still got a long year ahead, and I'm trusting the process that I can still be able to do some cool things this year at some stage. But yeah, all my focus is now is just not take anything for granted, and then playing doubles with Thanasi, one of my good mates. We've won this event before, but we owe it to each other, I think, to go out there in front of the crowd and just have a bit of fun.
Nick, you're coming from 2 difficult years with almost no matches. How been the last night? Have you been able to sleep well? I mean, have you felt goosebumps? Have you feel nervous before to enter into the court?
Yeah, I had a fine sleep. I guess I knew that I wasn't 100% going into this match. I'm not saying that's why I lost. He outplayed me. He outserved me. He returned well. He did a lot of things amazing. He's played a lot of matches. He's an informed player. He's transitioning very nicely. But honestly, the reason I kept playing and tried to play tonight was because of the fans. And as I said, I don't know how many times I'm going to be back here again. That's why I didn't have headphones on. I wasn't listening to music. I walked out there today, wanted to hear the crowd, and there were some special moments. So yeah.
No, him. Yeah.
So Nick, Is it about your body? You think at the moment you don't think your body will be hold up for next year, or will you give it time to see if it can during the season?
I mean, my wrist surgery was 16 months ago. So I've put in a lot of work. Like, I think it was like I didn't play a Grand Slam for 800 and something days, like 859 days or something. So I've continued to stay motivated through all those days. When I was watching everyone else play and I was on the couch, like in a cast, and I stayed motivated. You know, I trained. You know, I was in the gym. I'm in good shape. All the niggles, I guess, my body compensating with the wrist is tough. But yeah, it's just not enjoyable for me. Like, it's not enjoyable to go out there and not think tactically and not think, you know, I'm enjoying the atmosphere or where am I going to hit this ball. It's like, what am I doing to manage my body? This is painful. Okay, I can't do this because this hurts. Like, it's like, that's not tennis to me. That's not sport. Like, that's when it, you know, I'm happy to play through a bit of discomfort, but when it gets to a point where, you know, I'm one of the biggest servers on tour and I'm getting out-served tonight. You know, my average serve speed was beneath 200. So, like, that's not... I mean, Nick Kyrgios without his serve is, you know, probably not a, you know, I'm not a threat to many players.
Nick, what regrets do you have at this stage of your career and about tonight?
No regrets. I've had an amazing... I think my journey's not over, but I've had an amazing journey and my career's been amazing. You know, I don't have any regrets. I think everything's been a learning curve for me. And I continue to try and have fun and just be real and enjoy the ride. But I think it'd be selfish for me to say that, you know, I want more. I've had a lot of success, more than most athletes would have. So no, I don't have any regrets.
Nick, you mentioned you've got the doubles coming up and you're really looking forward to playing that. What's the plan post-Australian Open? Are we going to see you at any other Grand Slams this year?
Yeah, for sure.
Stage?
No, 100%. I'll play the Grand Slams. You know, I've got my protected ranking, so obviously Wimbledon's a big one for me. Like, I still feel like, obviously, if I don't have an abdominal strain, I feel like, you know, when I sustain that, you know, 5 days before a Grand Slam, it's not ideal. So hopefully, if my body's feeling good, I'll be able to, you know, make some noise at Wimbledon. But right now I've got doubles. I'll rest. Yeah, it's just disappointing because I put in so much work. So, yeah. I don't know what I'll do. I'm scheduled to play Davis Cup and I'm playing doubles. So, yeah. I don't know what to say, yeah.
Last one. You? Yeah.
Nick, you've spoken a lot about the fans and stuff. How would you characterise your relationship with the Aussie fans? I mean, there's no player in this country who can whip them up into a frenzy like you can, as we saw today.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, you know, I know towards the start of my career, I had a very love-hate relationship with the crowd. You know, I remember getting booed off that court when I lost in 5 sets, and I tried my nuts off, and I lost in 5 sets, and I remember getting booed off that court. So, fast forward to the later stages of my career, and I go out there tonight, and I'm, you know, I'd say probably 65% of my capacity, and for them to really see me fighting and still giving me that energy, it meant a lot because, you know, I feel like I've given a lot of my, you know, I've given my life to tennis, and I've tried to give them a show every time I go out there. And I know I didn't do a great job tonight, but there were moments that were special to me that I won't forget. Yeah, I really, you know, they were tagging me in stories beforehand. Like, we waited 4 or 5 hours to line up, so that was a big motivation for me tonight to not throw the towel in and just shake my opponent's hand, you know, after the first set when I knew there was no way my abdominal was going to get better. We knew that. But I really enjoyed the way the crowd gave me energy, and, you know, I wanted to give them 2.5 hours of tennis rather than retirement, and then, you know, that's shit.